Hi everyone, I'm Rosie. I'm a mosaic artist in Esk, and today I'm going to show you the fixtures or fixings that I use to secure one of my mosaics to the wall. And I am actually going to put them on the board that I'm mosaicing on. So the fixture that I use for this particular board, which is going to be a house number and needs to be secured flat against the wall, is something called a French cleat. They come in two parts. I got them off eBay. I haven't found a local supplier that supplies them, so I got them off eBay. You pop this one on the back of the board so that the indented bit goes down, and here's the two screw holes. This side here goes towards the board, the other side goes out. This one will go on the wall, so it'll be given to the customer when it's sold, along with plugs and screws and things. And what happens is you slide it onto that, and that actually holds it onto the wall quite firmly and quite straight as well. And that's the ones I use for house numbers that are going on, say, a house wall. I'm also going to use a couple of these tile backer washers, and they're to ensure that my bolts don't pull through the board in any way, so it spreads the weight. And I've got my nuts, and I've got my little washers for the nuts. So that's one of the ones that I'm going to use, and I use it where I want my mosaic to be flush against the wall, so not hanging at all. Now, the next one I'm going to use is one I'm going to put some like a half jug on it and some crockery flour, so it's got a little bit of weight. And so I'm using the D-ring, but this D-ring takes 15 kilograms. So it can actually handle a good bit of weight. I'm only going to use a single D-ring on it, but it also needs the wedi washer, the bolt, the nut, and just the little washer there. And so that's going to be installed on this board, which is going to have a cut jug. Then lastly, the one that I use is just a smaller version of that, and it's the small D-ring. This particular board is going to have vitreous glass and stained glass on it. It's not going to be very heavy. I'm going to use two of them, and so that's what I'm going to use on this one. Oh, when it comes to securing them, I'll just move these out of the way. What I've already done is most people with their tile backer board just put the blue mesh on the sides, and then they ceramicrete it or use whatever cement-based adhesive they use, and you're protecting the foam and the edges, which don't have this nice waterproof backing already on it. I like to have the back of mine covered in ceramicrete. That's just a personal favourite, and it just finishes the board off, so the customer doesn't see something like that, or with a bit of ceramicrete over this blue, of course. So that's what I do. You'll notice on this board I've actually marked where I'm going to put my holes. I've marked the holes on this side so that if I get it wrong, I'm not actually marking it on the ceramicrete. So yeah, that's where my holes are going to go for the two attachments. So there's a few other things I'm going to use today, just so that you know, or may use. This is hanging wire, and these are the little hoovy-doovy dadders that you squeeze onto the hanging wire so it holds. I have no idea what their name is, but if I wanted to put hanging wire between my two D-rings, I can do that. I have got, obviously, my Sharpie for marking my holes. I've got my hole maker. Mine's really technical. You can just use a drill, but I am using an old screw and a hammer, and I'm just going to make a hole using that. I've got some pliers and a screwdriver so I can tighten up my bolt, which this one is actually a screw bolt. And I've got something called Loctite, and what Loctite does is it stops the nut from coming off. Nice. I think that's pretty much all my toolkit here. So hopefully you can see this. All I'm going to do is take my little, I've marked my holes, so I know where I'm going. Take my little screw and my hammer, and I'm going to tap it through. And once I've got it in, I'm going to tap it through to the other side. There we go. And I'll do that on the other one. It's all very technical, as you can see. And that's through. And out it comes. So that's actually pretty simple. Then I'm going to grab my little screw. In this instance, these ones are a little bit thin, and I'm actually putting a washer between it and here just to make sure the head doesn't come through. That's just a mistake. I should have bought a bigger one. I'm going to tap it down a bit because it can sink. There we are. And I'm going to get my hanger, and I'm going to get my nut, and this is where you're going to see me looking a bit like an idiot, because I'm going to hold this with one hand. I'm going to put that on like that. I'm going to get my Loctite. Just needs a drop. There we go. It's blue, so make sure you don't put it everywhere. I'm going to pop that there where it needs to be. I'll just hand tighten it to start off with, finger tighten it, and then I can move this back to where I want it to be. And then just grab my little pliers, because it's such a tiny little nut. So what I'm trying to do here is make it firm, but not so tight that it's cutting into the ceramicrete on the back. And I'm holding the bolt in place using that screwdriver. So it's all nicely done. There we go, that's one in. Nicely secured here. You can mosaic straight over that, or you can put your ceramicrete on this as well. I'm actually going to do that because my side tile is about 18 millimeters thick. This is a 10 millimeter tile backer board. So if I use an 18 millimeter thick, as in high side tile, I can use a bit of ceramicrete in here. It brings the tiles the glass that I'm putting on here up to the right level. Anyway, I hope that helps. So I use 3 kinds of hangers. These stainless steel cleats, French cleats that I got off eBay, and I use them for really heavy items because they take like 25-30 kilos, or if I want it to be flush against the wall, that's what I do. If I've got something that might have a bit of weight in it because it's using tile or crockery, I might use a D-ring like this, 1 or 2 of them, depending upon the size of the board. And if I've got something that's going to be reasonably lightweight, under 2 or 3 kilos, then I'll use 2 of these little ones, little D-rings. I always use my wedi washers or tile backer washers, and I use these to stop the screw or bolt from pulling through with the weight. It distributes the weight across. And I put them on after I've ceramicreted the edges and after I've ceramicreted the back, because I like my backs to have that look to it, and before I do anything on the front. I hope you find that helpful. Please feel free to put in comments what particular fixtures you use to hang your mosaics. More than happy for you to do that. This is just what I use. Thank you.